Hola a todos, mi nombre es Forrest Fenn. Escondí un tesoro y lo escondí muy bien. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Forrest Fenn. Escondí un tesoro y lo escondí muy bien. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Forrest Fenn. Escondí un tesoro y lo escondí muy bien. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Forrest Fenn. Escondí un tesoro y lo escondí muy bien. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Forrest Fenn. Escondí un tesoro y lo escondí muy bien. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Forrest Fenn. Escondí un tesoro.
A lot of people, they're wondering, well, what's the blaze? Well, there's lots of blazes. There are many blazes in Fenn's treasure hunt. Each say where Warm Waters halt, that's a blaze. Where the home of Brown is a blaze. It's a sign. It's a sign that you're in the right direction, and the signs end up are written in stone, and that's why he says it can last 10,000 years, because it already has lasted 13,000 years, many of the signs and his stories, because there is so much of this ancient sculpture and art that you can find stories depicted in this art to describe everything about your life. It's all already there. It's already been written. And that's why he kind of calls it heaven, and he took it with him. It's already in heaven, in this mass of sculpture and art from the Flintstones, basically, 14,000 years ago. Bunch of mammoth huggers. I mean, just about most all sculptures are people with their mammoths, hugging their mammoths. Was one group of people on top. They're statues. They're literally statues. And these pictures I take from the highway. You can see it all as you go down, but you don't see it. It's there. It's hidden in plain sight. You gotta look. And if you don't look, you don't see it. But it's so amazing. And I have thousands of pictures, hundreds of excellent shots. And there's some places you gotta go there and get a closer shot because it's so amazing, And some of it I don't know if you can because it's on private land and things. And the people with the private land, they don't want to discuss that there's ancient ruins on their land because that might cause a problem for them, because actually I don't know how they let some private corporation buy 3,000 acres of the national forest there. And now they're just turning it into their luxury, it's beautiful there. It's, but it's very thick with trees. And you know what happens to places that are thick with trees, eventually, it's a blaze. But there was a fire probably within 2 miles of the treasure just recently, and that is that's what he said. It could get taken by fire. One thing that popped into my head last night, and I'm looking at scratches on my arm from the last adventure, but the one thing that popped into my head was that he's talking about the Great Bet. The bottle was so small, there wasn't any room. There was barely any room for the Great Bet in it to put any soda in it. He's talking about. I'm thinking this means that there's a hole in the canyon wall that he stuck it into, and it was barely big enough to fit the treasure. So you're looking for a hole that he stuck it in that's maybe the size of the treasure. And he might have stuck the treasure in there and then stuck a rock in over the top of it and entombed his treasure, not buried it. And so now I'm looking at my one wall here differently, you know. So, well, I wanted to put together a video and show my the blazes, the blazes versus the blaze. The blaze. There's one the blaze, but there are many blazes to get there. So, you know. So you got the Warm Waters Hall, the home of Brown, which is David Jennings Brown. He's dead. Where the gypsies are there too. There's a blaze there. There's no paddle up your creek. That's a blaze. It's a white. Ooh. No paddle up your creek is because there's a waterfall. Okay. And there's heavy loads. There's water high, and he tells you to go find that water high. That water high is the blaze. The first, well, it's like, you know, kind of the first, but really the gypsies were at the home of Brown, and they're a blaze. But he wanted you to find the blaze, and from there it ends at the wood. And when you get to the wood, you find the ZPU gun, you find Skippy's gearbox, you find the Model B cowl with the 50 cal hole to the nose. Well, you don't find that. I've got it over on my, I took it. It's over on my property, 100 miles away. So, anyhow, so you find the Model A cowl, or a Model B cowl. Model A, Model B, they're the same, pretty much the same. As far as the gas tank is, the gas tank's in the dashboard, basically. That's the cowl. The cowl is the dashboard, that instrument panel and all that, right behind the hood of the car to the windshield. The windshield sits on it. That's the cowl. And I'm surprised Cowlings is way off on recognizing that. The bathing, and then after that, there's the bathing hole. And I've been all over on the cliff. The forest, there's a atomic bomb blast in the forest, looks like, because it looks like a giant mushroom cloud cut out of the forest, kind of coming up from the creek. And then you find the hear me all and listen good symbol, the skull, the ear, and the ear horn. It's listen all and hear me good. It's right next to Forrest Fenn Falls, I call it. It's a beautiful waterfall in the spring runoff. In the summer and fall, there's not a lot of water on it, but in the spring runoff, it's beautiful. Then there's the Clovis Point and the mammoth head, in the ribs of the mammoth, you know. And well, that's kind of there's a whole bunch of stuff right around the Clovis Point. There's the father and son. There's the guys over the diagram, the rock formation that represents the guys standing over the marble game. Okay, and it's a bunch of omegas. There's probably 12 omegas in it, and a couple, maybe one alpha and 12 omegas. Alpha, you're born once. You like the cat has 9 lives. The cat has 9 omegas. Okay, so that formation and the formation of the lumberjack and I found that lumberjack looking at the bird in the crescent in several places, but You know, there's some things about this one spot that, you know. So you don't know which of these symbols holds the treasure, you know. And I've been down at the end of it, and there's just... so then you get to the lumberjack, the bird. Then you get to Principal Fenn's door, and then you find the Alpha Omega with the Forrest Fenn riding the bird, fly fishing while he's riding a bird. You know, that was amazing. That's one of the most amazing formations I've seen. and across the road is the Biddy's boy and the Rockwell boy, and then a little further down there's an eagle in a nest, the eagle in the crescent, you know, a bird in a nest. Basically, it's a giant eagle head that's probably 100 feet across, and then below that is the double omegas, the double omegas and middle fingers in the hearth of the fireplace thing, in an alpha next to the omega symbol, the symbol holding the tombstone and stuff. And across the way from that is him riding the atomic bomb. It's like, you know, how did these Clovis people know there was to be a guy riding an atomic bomb? Maybe he's on top of a mountain. Maybe I got to look at it differently, but it looks like a guy riding an atomic bomb, you know. There's why Forrest said, "Oh, I had one." You know, he could have done that Slim Pickens thing. And then you got, from there he took it with him, you know, went past the light. And then there's Anubis, the guardian of treasure and guardian of the dead, the usher to heaven. And Enki is right there, the creator of all men is there. And then a little further down you find the double omegas, the giant mammoth sculptures that are 200, 300 feet tall. And right in between them is Moses standing on a mammoth parting the Rocky Mountains. And then you find the Forrest Fenn. It just says Fenn up there on the cliff with a fish over it and 2 fish hooks in front of it. I'm going to edit this video and putting the pictures up of these things while I'm going. So, and then there's the Clovis canoe after that, the end of the rainbow area, I call it. And I think it's right in that area, and it's described in Lewis and Clark and everything. The whole area is, but it's not in Yellowstone. Those are bold hints. The only bold hint is the treasure's bold. The treasure. You find the word treasure on the map, dingbats. Find the word treasure on the map. It's not the name of a store or a shop or boutique or anything like that. Okay? Find treasure on the map.
Escondí un tesoro y lo escondí muy bien. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Forrest Fenn. Escondí un tesoro y lo escondí muy bien.